Hello, welcome to Wofoy TV platform. My name is Ikia. If this is your first time here, please click the subscribe button. You share this video with a friend or with someone who will find this very helpful. All right, thank you so much for doing this. Today I'm going to talk to you about the visa bulletin, and this is the December visa bulletin. And just before I talk, go deep into the visa bulletin, if this is your first time hearing about the visa bulletin is a publication that is done every month ahead of time by the State Department, and it establishes visa availability based on the case number cutoff point. Basically, when visa numbers are made available to certain cutoff point of case numbers, then if those cases belong to people whose cases have been processed and then they're assigned to embassies that are really performing very well, then they're most likely going to get their interview within the month that they are going to be current. But oftentimes it doesn't happen that way. So just know that if your case number is current, it means that there's a visa made available for your case cutoff point group. Okay, and so if you get an interview and things go well, there's a good chance that you will get your visa. If your case number has AF code in it, then the cutoff point is going to be 22,000. Okay, that means that if your case number contains AF alphabets in there, then your case number is below 22,000, then your case number is going to be among the cases that are current in the month of January. However, if you're somebody from Algeria, then you will look under Algeria, and Algeria, the cutoff point is 15,000. If you're somebody from Egypt, the cutoff point is 15,000. So even though the cutoff point for AF region is 22,000, if you're from Egypt, it is delayed a little bit. You will have to wait a little bit longer. All right. But if you're from Morocco, the cutoff point is going to be 20,000. So all the people whose chargeability is for Morocco, then if your case number is below 20,000, definitely in the month of January, your case number is going to be current. Now, before I move on to Asia and then the rest of the other, let me say this one thing here. Guys, if your case number is below the previous visa bulletin, let's say your case number is like 1,000 and you haven't received your interview notification, you didn't receive it for October, you didn't receive it for November, and you haven't received for December. So you're like, okay, my case number is 1,000. Would they get to me? Yes. Just know that the margin keeps increasing. So that is why it is always smart to work on your case early, so that when your case number is current, and if you are in a good embassy, you could be attended to in an early in the early batch, so that you don't end up being in the larger audience, right? Because now if your case number is 1,000 and in January the cutoff point is 22,000 and you are in Africa, guess what? They have included a whole group of people. Like, that was larger than the cutoff point they had in October. That was larger than the cutoff point they had in November. So that is why it is really smart to work on your case early, so that you don't find yourself in a larger pool of applicants waiting for their interview. Now let's go to AS region. If you're from the AS region, the cutoff point is 5,500. 5,500. If you're from Iran, the cutoff point is 5,450. If you're from Iran, the cutoff point is 5,450. But if you're from Nepal, the cutoff point is 3,000. 3,000. So just make sure, if you're from Nepal, you're not looking at AS region cutoff point, you're looking at your chargeability, and you look at your country specific cutoff point. If you're from Iran, the same thing goes for you. Now let's go to Europe. If you're from the EU region, the cutoff point is 12,000. But if you're from Russia, the cutoff point is 11,500. If you're from Uzbekistan, the cutoff point is 4,750. 4,750. So all the Uzbeks, you will look at your country specific cutoff point. So if you're an Uzbek, then and your case number falls below 4,750, then it's going to be current in the month of January. If you're from Russia or your chargeability is to Russia, then it's going to be 11,500. But if you're from Europe or the rest of the Europe, region, then you will look at the 12,000. Okay, so just know, pay attention to your country, your chargeability. Your chargeability will determine which part of the visa bulletin that you need to focus on. Okay. We'll go to the North American region. The North American region is represented by one country, and that is the Bahamas. The cutoff point is 5. So those of you who are in Bahamas, I hope that you guys are working on your case. The cutoff point is 5. So make sure that you're, actively working on your case so that you don't miss this once in a lifetime opportunity, because you guys have a very small number. And so if you are proactive and you get on your case, there should be a good chance that you'll be able to get through. There are some people in some countries that, they are in a highly competitive area and they have a large pool of applicants. And so if you're from Bahamas, don't let this chance slip you by. Now we'll go to Oceania. Oceania. If you're from Oceania region, the cutoff point is 1,000. So all the people from New Zealand, Australia, Papua New Guinea, and all those countries that fall in the Oceania region, that is your cutoff point that you will look at in the meantime. The last one that we'll talk about is the South America and the Caribbean. If you're from the South American country, any of the South American countries, or the Caribbean countries that are participating in the DV lottery, then your cutoff point, and you're a winner, right? And your cutoff point is going to be 650. 650. So guys, what does this mean? Just as I said earlier, visa availability for applicants pool, they're making it wider. So this is why you want to make sure that your case is ready to go when you are captured in that pool. Okay, you want to make sure that you are ready when you are captured in that pool. If not, then you risk losing this opportunity. You risk not getting interview at all, because as the applicant, the visa availability for applicants pool, as it widens, as it increases, the fact that you have a case number 2,000 and you are from some African country, and then somebody has a case number that is 11,000 in Europe, doesn't mean that that embassy is not going to work. They are going to take care of that person. Meanwhile, you have a small case number and you're like, why is that? This is not fair. This is not that. Sometimes it is due to factors that we contributed to that. Sometimes it's because some people feel that they have a small case number, so they are not proactive. They take their time in working on things, and sometimes you may have a legitimate reason. Maybe you're not getting an address for a host so that it will be your permanent address where your green card will go, or sometimes some of you may be caught up in a sticky situation that further delays your process, right? But then there's, the other factor that is beyond your control. Like your embassy may not be working, your embassy may be too slow. So there are so many things that you have no control over them. But just make sure that the part that you have control over, you take care of that, and then you just hope for the best for the things that are outside of your control. All right, guys, if you have enjoyed this video, make sure you share with someone who may find this really helpful. And don't forget to follow me on Facebook, Wofoy TV. I love you guys, and I'll see you on my next video. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.